Hello, Facebook and YouTube, and welcome back to Dreamline Garage. So, this is video number 2 of our car introduction series, I guess. So, we are going to be going over Eddie, my 1966 Plymouth Valiant station wagon. Yes, I do own 2 of them. As I said, that one belonged to my uncle. You can check out the other video. I'll probably figure out how to stick it. It should be up in here somewhere. You can watch that video and learn all about V. Anyway, this video, we are talking about Eddie. Eddie, as I said, is a 66 Plymouth Valiant station wagon. 66 was the last year for the early A-bodies, and subsequently also the last year for the A-body station wagons. So, Eddie started out life as a car actually the exact same color as V, that cool medium blue poly. As we get inside the car, you'll be able to see it in the door jambs. So 2 owners before me. As far as I'm aware, I've tried to find out so much info about this car. Did the paint. They also did these funky pinstripes. And somewhere along the lines, we had some really cool old school pinstriping done. I almost want to save the pinstriping, but as we get into the rest of the car, you will find out that I'm probably not going to keep it because, oh boy, this has been an interesting thing. So, first things first, this car used to be a, I'm pretty sure, 170 cubic inch slant 6 and a 3-speed on the tree manual transmission and whatever, probably a 7 1/4 rear end. As we open the hood here, I've got it pre-popped because it's kind of hard to do with one hand. So a previous owner decided to shove a 440, a 727, and a Ford 9-inch in it. Yeah, so about the only things that I have done to this car right now is a newer carb that I actually found at an antique mall. The original carb that was on it, which I actually need to pull this vacuum housing tube off of. If I find a place to set it down, the base plate broke. So this is still actually a good carb. I just need a base plate for it. And this one's a 650 CFM. That one's either a 650 or a 750. They're basically identical carbs. That one's just a little newer. I need a base plate for this and to get this one all cleaned up because it wasn't all that clean when I was using it on the car anyway. Ignore my pile of parts. Anyway, I also put the 273 V8 radiator in it because it still had the slant 6 radiator. And if you, let me move the air cleaner. If you look at this piece here that's wider than my hand, this radio is a good deal narrower, and it's also only a single core. So that big old 440 had very little to no cooling. It still has very little to no cooling. So that will be getting fixed. I'm also going to get the appropriate alternator for this car because it needs to be sitting more forward. It does have an MSD ignition box, still running off of points ignition. It does have a nice, halfway decent dual plane Edelbrock intake on it. The only thing I'm running into is space issues. So the largest engine available for these cars from the factory was the 273 small block. And generally, these early A-bodies came with either a 170 or a 225 cubic inch slant 6. So as we begin to move to the rearward of the car, you're going to see just how interesting things get. First off, the suspension is shot. This, oh, you can't even see it in there without me getting funky. Anyway, there are bushings that are missing. There are bushings that are going. You can see this one's going away. I don't even think the suspension or brakes on this car have been touched since the 80s. So basically, they crammed all the drivetrain stuff in and didn't do anything else with the car and sold it. We are still 10-inch drums in the front. I think it's 10 or 12-inch on the rear, but that's all with the Ford 9-inch. Still has the original, probably factory, has never been separated from the firewall. Single channel, itty bitty, teeny tiny master cylinder that has, the master cylinder itself is still good, but I've got a leak somewhere, and I've got nothing, no brakes. So Eddie is currently not driving, but he is running. As we come underneath here, we have a touch of a transmission leak, which I need to figure out. We actually do have, coming off of the exhaust manifolds, not headers, a halfway decently done H-piped true dual exhaust. All right, and he actually sounds really nice. I don't know how much fuel is in him right now. There's also been quite a bit of frame stiffening done. This is actually some pretty hefty gauge steel that's been set up where the frame rail used to be. Chrysler A bodies are one of the earliest examples of a unibody car. This is not a frame on body car, neither is V. So there's that. As we come up to here, the battery now resides in the back of the car because there's literally no room for it. It does have, I did install a tachometer. It's got a halfway, kind of nice but older B&M floor shifter that goes to the 727 3-speed automatic, and I put a fancy shift knob on it. And then as we come back here, we do in fact have a Ford 9-inch geared in like a 227 super tall highway gears. It's kind of ridiculous. I'm not even gonna lie. It's whew, you can feel the engine fighting the gears. Let me tell you that. We do have some air shocks that are going to be going away. These leaf springs are completely shot. In fact, from this angle, you can kind of see that they're all sorts of W'd out. And then this was probably a yard find because this up here is the original sheet metal, and then this. So basically, a good portion of the quarters are actually manufactured is the best word that I can describe for y'all. They are Brillo pads, chicken wire, and lots and lots and lots of body filler and fiberglass. If we slide over here, you can definitely see the chicken wire. Yeah, there we go. The chicken wire. This is the original sheet metal here. I mean, if we actually come out from underneath, I mean, you wouldn't know it to actually look at it. So, Eddie's going to be a drag car. He's already got all the parts to be able to do it. Eddie's going to be my drag car. I'm going to put him back to the factory color, which again is this really nice medium blue. So Eddie and V are actually the same color from the factory, so they're going to be matching. Now, the only thing I'm going to be doing different with Eddie is that he is going to be getting some dark gold accents. I know for a fact I want to put Plymouth, like you would see on like late 60s, early 70s Barracuda, just the cursive script Plymouth on the rear quarters. I want to do that, as well as, and I haven't fully solidified this, I want to do either, because from the factory, these are supposed to be chrome, and this is supposed to be body color, this center section. So what I think what I might do, in fact, I just decided this is exactly what I'm going to do. This center section of grille, match it up to this point and this point, run a single broad dark gold racing stripe along the hood and back along the roof. And so, just some race car flourishes. And he's going to be a streetable drag car. I am shooting, it's a long shot, but I know I can get there eventually. I'm going to be shooting for low 12s, high 11s. Something that I can get a ton of jollies in, blow some people's doors off, but not have to do a ton yet as far as safety equipment, because I want to learn how to do roll cages and all of that. So, but like I said, this is still going to be a streetable car. I still want to take it out and wow people, because it's kind of amazing. I have had him out in one show, and a lot of people stopped in three quarters of a step, stopped to come and look, because it was this smaller car with a huge V8 in it. So this is Eddie. Like I said, the plans for him, and he is going to be our next big project as I gather all of the parts and supplies in order to get him back on the road. I actually am working a deal as we speak for a lower geared rear differential third member, because Ford 9 inches are kind of slick like that. And yeah, that's him. So this is going to be our drag project, and hopefully it's going to be absolutely fantastic. It just takes time and money, both of which I'm kind of short on. So thank you guys so much. Again, like and share, and we'll see you again next time.